Hello, everyone. Hopefully,
Hello.
you can hear us loud and clear and see us this time. And we're here for a very special panel for HeinzCon or HeinzCon Online 2022. And we will be talking about the upcoming Chronopia Kickstarter in just a bit with my lovely guests, Martin and Elias. And yeah, if you could say something so we can make sure everyone in the stream can hear you and can hear us, okay, please?
Sure. Hi. Welcome, everybody. We will show you some upcoming news, news of upcoming Kickstarter and about our game. Elias?
Hello, everyone. Good evening from Greece. Would love to show you our upcoming Kickstarter and present you the great setting that we have all helped establish.
Excellent. So just need to wait a couple of seconds to see. Everyone is great in audio. So, well, here we go. Please, I'll just give the floor to you. Please indulge us. What is coming for us? So the Kickstarter is going live at the end of March. If I'm not mistaken, it's the 29th. So not long to go now. What, for people who don't have or haven't heard about the game at all, what kind of a game is it? And yeah, what's coming?
Okay, so maybe Elias will say some few words.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. First of all, before I start presenting everything, given the current global status, I'd like to express from all of us in the Chronopia project and from me personally, our support and solidarity towards the Ukrainian people that at the moment are facing a huge ordeal for their very existence. Slava Ukraine. Besides that, our project, something that we have poured so much love in that, it's Chronopia or Chronopia, whichever might you choose to pronounce it. Chronopia used to be a game that was produced during the 90s by a company called Target. It was discontinued, I think, by the late 90s, early 2000s. And it has been given life back again. It's a project that we have been working on in the last year and something. We have tried to reestablish it. And I'm the one responsible for giving life back to the lore and to write the lore, the story, the background, everything like that. So I will try to give you a brief presentation of the world. And after that, we will move to Martin, who will present you the rules and the rule set and the way that you will make battle and set blood in that realm. So initially in Chronopia, there are 4 mortal entities, let's call them kingdoms, more or less. It's the firstborn that were the human, more or less, that are led by a very benevolent king called the One King. After that, it's the elven realms that are divided into 3 major houses, which are independent. Each of those houses has an independent and distinct personality as it derives from the duke that leads upon it. You can see some elves on the background of Martin right now. He will have the ability to show the minis in a bit. Afterwards, we have the Black Blood Empire, which is a conglomeration of 4 races: the orcs, the ogres, the goblins, and the trolls. Each of them are living under the, let's say, the not so benevolent leadership of the emperor, the Black Blood Emperor that reigns from his throne of blood. And then we have the dwarves. The dwarves are an ancient race that were formed by their gods, more or less at their image, that are divided into too many clans. Each clan has a distinct bestial personality. So you have the clan that looks like a ram, the clan that looks like a wolf, the boar, etc., etc. Each clan has also a distinct personality, In our initial Kickstarter, we will be covering only the clan of the Horned Ones, which will be ram-like. And finally, there are the Devout. The Devout also are divided into 4 different entities. Each is led by a prophet. The Devout are basically the bad guys of the setting. They both have mortal and demonic followers. Each prophet has a distinct personality as to how he copes with the mortal followers of his, or with his relationship with the demonic realm that pours forth those demons. And all those 5 races, 5 factions, let's call them, are all battling for the realm, for the very soul of the realm, both for strategic gains, but most of all for the very soul of the realm. The Devout have pledged themselves to the Dark One and are trying to expand his dominion upon our realm, bringing forth demons and having extensive, how can I put it, malign portents that are pouring through to our realm. Now, just because the lore, I wouldn't like to spoil too many things about that. I have to establish that the setting is quite complex, not difficult to follow, but each small faction has its own distinct personality. In the tabletop, it will have its own distinct way of playing. And another theme that we want to follow as the game after the Kickstarter continues is that the story promotes itself at the behest of the players and of the community. So our goal is, for a specific period of time or for an event, we have yet to establish that, to let the players decide upon the future of the world. We have so many threads open from the end of the core set, and the setting has so many different paths that it can take. Our objective, our goal is to put the player literally in the spurs, in the shoes, in the position of a general, of a politician, of a statesman, and his every battle will have impact upon the world. I don't know if you want something to clarify or to expand upon something, Evie.
So it sounds like you have like a sort of living history, so that everything sort of contributes to how you will further develop the game. Is that right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay, that
yes.
sounds very cool. Is
Yes.
there like an active campaign planned? Like, how would you actually get results from the players and from their
Yes.
campaigns?
We are working currently on our website that will be open after the Kickstarter, and we have certain ideas. Probably it would be a campaign that all the community will be able to participate, and they would upload the results with a very specific question. I don't want to spoil the question. No. We already have established them. I can tell you something, a very small spoiler. In the Black Blood Empire, the goblins are having a very hard time. They don't really like their emperor. I cannot blame them, to be honest with you. So I just want the final statement that I want to make is everything, despite the fact that it is a fantasy setting, I have taken specific steps to try to make all of those factions, all of those motives plausible, both from a strategic standpoint, as well as from the motives that move the different players, the international players, in their actions. So yeah, of course it's a fantasy setting, but not crazy things happen. If you just read the setting, everything has an incentive behind that.
Okay, so it all sort of all makes sense together and has a very sort of believable background.
Exactly. A very rough approximation, very rough approximation that we can compare it with is Game of Thrones. Okay. It's low fantasy, everything. There is a multitude of characters, all with his own incentives, and everything, most of the times, clips together. So not things just happen. Things don't just fall from the sky.
So if you're saying it's, or you could imagine it like a bit of Game of Thrones, this is lots of, everyone hates each other. There's lots of alliances, some secret, some very open, and there's lots of head bashing and backstabbing.
Exactly.
Very
exactly.
good.
And
yeah, I get a very vivid image.
It's a war game, so there have to be some hate to each other, factions and everything. Okay, so few words from me. Behind you can see the demo board, which is basically set in Land of Lava by one of our prophets. I can show them up. It's over here. And I can demonstrate a few things you can see behind me. So first of all, it's a box for demo pack. We will be sending that box to the shops and wargaming clubs just to so they can open and play it by themselves and check the game. Hopefully it will be done as soon as possible. So if it hits before Kickstarter, it's hard to tell, but we will aiming that. So in that box, there are two factions, 4 models for Devouts and 4 models for elves, Crystal Lotus elves. And well, how to play the game? Because it's a skirmish game, you don't need a lot of models to play it. And we split the rules for the 4 sizes of the game. So basically the first is hero skirmish level, which allows you to play the game using only 6-8 models, which is in demo pack. And then the games is more set for I would say a role-playing scenario, so the models have to do something in the battlefield other than just kill each other. So, for example, the daughter of the general has been kidnapped and you have to rescue her, or etc., etc. But it's a very good way of introducing the game to the new players. So when they want to get to it, they don't have to spend a lot of money for the big army just to play it. They can pop in, buy a starter or a few models and play some scenarios. Yeah. The next level is a patrol level game. So when you will play that few scenarios and you want more, you will buy more models, and about 12, 16 models per side, you can play a patrol level scenarios. So to that, as well, you will be using a game board size 3 feet by 3 feet, which is very popular now. And on that level, you can check and test all the models in the chosen army. So, for example, how my great swordsman will be good at combat against the other one. But of course, every loss of a model will hurts. So because you've got only 10 or 12, and the next level is army battle level, which is very familiar to the old Chronopia players. You need about 20-40 models per side, and that games will be made on the bigger table, like 4 feet by 6 feet. And yes, in that kind of games, it will be just a huge battle, which lasts about 2 or 3 hours to play. It's not the whole weekend of one game. And the last level, which we prepared, is Grand Army level. So basically, the more models, the better. And yes, even 100 models, you can put all of your collection on the table and just play it. There are some simplified rules for that, so the game won't last very, very long, but it just smoothly can go for a few hours, let's say 6. It depends, of course, how many models you put on the table. So four sizes of the game. And beside that, we have prepared a fantastic thing. I think not many war games have this. It's a solo play. So you can play against environment only by yourself. So if you've got few models, there will be rules to play like a role-playing game against the world of Chronopia. Find some treasures, experience your fighter. I can say it's more or less like a Diablo game. So when the one hero goes through the world and hack and slash everything he finds in the way, and then get the treasure. So, for example, every model, every box you will buy will have a unit card. I can demonstrate you from the demo box. We'll have a unit card, of course, with statistics, skills, and everything. Of course, that images will be available after our show. Maybe I will post it on our media, so the people can look better at it than just over the camera. But every unit then might have an equipment card. And equipment cards tells you, the statistics of the weapon, fantastic illustration of the weapon, bow, an axe, of course, some sword, 2 swords. And a lot of people ask me, oh, why you didn't put that together, combined? Of course, it is combined in the rulebook, but we split the cards because the cards will be used in the solo play. So in a normal game of Chronopia, let's say swordman use sword and shield. But if you play a solo game and your hero is swordman, later on he can advance to two-handed axe or whatever. So then the cards just play the roles as the role-playing game.
So if you change your weapon in solo mode, for example, you can just pick up another card with the weapon you're actually wielding. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Exactly. And you don't have to write anything on the paper. Just take the card or even random the card. It's like a loot. You've got a pile of equipments. And then, I've got a load of this elven shield. Yeah, now I will use it.
Loot roulette.
So, yes, that's another way of playing our game, where you don't need a lot of models. So we aim for the newcomers who can buy a starter set and just start playing games straight away, or the people who want to play bigger battles, they can play it as well with the large amount of models. About the models in the boxes we will be selling. So when you will buy a box of models, you will get, of course, the unit card, the equipment cards you're using, and a certain amount of models in the box. And we are aiming that every box you will buy, you can straight away open the box and play with the amount of models that is inside in every level of our game, except Grand Army, because that's the more models, the better. But for the normal games, if let's say there are 2 models in the box, yes, you buy, you open it, of course, paint it, and that's part of the hobby. we don't talk about. Then you put on the table and you can play with them. Of course, if you want a bigger size of a unit, you need to buy 2 or 3 boxes. But even if you buy 1 box, it's enough to play. Okay. So I can show a few things that we prepared in Kickstarter, like a sneak peek, I will say. For the players, there will be nothing happened. There will be a possibility to buy a player game mats. Yes, as you can see, there's a space for cards to put in and equipment. On the bottom, there's a place for a secret mission, to put the command points on the top, and some text. The text is like a reminder from the rulebook, which helps you and remember what special things do by the warlord or command group, etc., etc. So you don't have to check the rules every 5 minutes. Like, oh yeah, and that's doing this, that's doing that, and it's combined with the cards. So those information are not put in the cards because the cards, let's say, it's about one full unit, but you might have a unit without command group or with the command group. So the rules for the commands are exactly the same for every unit. So this is on the player mats. That's the add-on you will be able to get over our Kickstarter. And as well, we will prepare something I think not many companies releasing war game do. You will be able to get STL files. Not of the models, but like every surrounding things over the Chronopia game. So, for example, the templates. You will be able to take a template for the swipe. So, of course, it will be the templates will be in the rule book. You can cut it out, or you can download and print it. But if you've got a nice STL file and print it with a clear resin over the battlefield, you can straight away see who's under it. Of course, different sizes of swipe. It depends on the size of the base of the model. That's 2 inches, quite huge. One last thing. We will have few buildings or columns. That's for the Black Bloods. Sorry, it's not painted, so I want to show it for long. But yes, you will be able to buy STLs, print, and then use it with your games. Oh, here is a vortex flying around. A really nice template of the vortex for devout spell, which can fly around. What else I can say? In the demo pack, of course, pretty nice set of the tokens. There will be dice, there will be bases, basically everything you need to play the game on the Hero Skirmish level, and learn the more. Okay, maybe we have some questions from the people.
Yeah, if any one of you guys in the chat have any questions, please feel free to pop them through, and yeah, you can ask whatever you like. We have no questions so far, but yeah, if anyone out there wants to know anything, please feel free. Yes,
and I don't know if you have posted the link.
I have.
Okay, so that's the link to preview of our Kickstarter. So please click, go through it, and click follow. So we will have. So you will know exactly the time when we will when our campaign go live.
Yeah, now you can be the first. Yeah, no, rather interesting, especially like the solo mode, and that you can sort of start into the game with not that many miniatures. That actually makes it very attractive for people like me who got rid of their miniatures because they don't have any space, and I don't have any friends either to play it with. So
you can see it's aimed for you as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Take a few models and.
It definitely makes it a lot more interesting, because I'm usually like, oh, where do I put it again? And especially after moving a couple of times. But yeah, and the solo mode sounds tempting as well. So maybe I'll take a close look.
Ilias, do you have anything?
No, I just want to give some pieces of lore information about the background that you have. So this, my friends, is the realm of Lokoth. He's one of the 4 prophets of the devout. he has taken his natural habitat as the land of fire. Imagine smoke sprouting from the earth, lava erupting out of nowhere, chasms being created over seconds, and demonic beings with wings flying over your head. So practically, it's a death sentence just going and venturing into this realm. But this realm is told to hold certain, let's call it treasures. I don't want to spoil much more than that. So that's why those lovely elves have chosen to risk their lives in such a manner as to go and meet their fates in the land of fire and get Lokoth.
Oh yes, exactly. So I can show you close the models. It's been painted by Painting Night Studio. I'm not sure how good they will look through my camera, but let's try it. So there are two spearman elves, one lotus guard, and an archer. And against that, we've got two devout followers, great sword follower, and the cursed. Hopefully, I won't. Okay, let's go through.
Yeah, you can see a bit. But will you have pictures of those beauties on your Kickstarter as well?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, of course, there will be pictures, there are renders, because there's a quite lot of the models. If you can imagine, we've got 5 armies. Every army, let's say, has got about 5 units plus single models, and every unit, every model is different. So there's a quite huge amount of different models you can take, and that's just the top of the iceberg. There will be more over time. So,
Martin, should we spoil them that there would be stretch goals if things go well?
Yes, yes, of course.
I think we should do that.
Every Kickstarter is prepared with a stretch goals. So at the beginning, you will be able to take a wave 1, as we call it, of the models, and then when we gather a certain amount of money, there are some stretch goals. So maybe I will spoil for a second.
Something small.
Something big.
Oh,
big.
It's small, but
that is big.
Something huge.
Something huge. Yes.
Huge.
It is set in a stretch goal, so it's not available from the beginning. But that's our first monster, a huge monster for the dwarves. And it's called, in our universe, it's called the totem. So basically, about the totem, maybe Ilias will tell. But
yes, I will try to be. Yeah. Just whilst you're showing that, and it's beautiful sculpting and it's beautiful paint job.
Yes,
the totems used to be the gods that actually sculpted the dwarves in their image. So this is the totem of the horned ones. It has the semblance of a ram. As you can see, it's huge, and because of some events, because of some magical outpouring in the realm, those gods practically became insane. They started devouring their children, and it took a certain plot point, let's call it, for them to be tamed. So now they are not in their former glory, but still they are assisting their children in the best way they can. And this, my friends, is like 8 meters tall being that can wreak destruction in the enemy ranks.
Yeah, a huge monster. And what I can say about the solo play, few more tips, that it will be, you will be creating a short story about your character. So let's say on every level, there are 5 games to play. at the beginning. Of course, there will be more with the time, and every game gives you different type of feeling. So let's say we are starting with a normal swordman model as our hero, and he focused to go to find some for the hunting. So hunt some animal in the woods. So that will be the first mission. Then you gather experience points, you advance him, you might even buy some help or hire some help for the next battle. And then before to get to the next battle, there is a trip. So between point A and point B, our hero travels. And over the travel, it might something happen, or it might be an ambush. You might stay in the inn or something. So that might be another game of play till you get to another battle. And every battle, I think we prepared about 5 on each stage, but that leads you to the boss fight. And at the end, when you gather your better equipment, you create a really good crew, you will fight a boss. And by the mean boss, it might be a totem, it might be a savage troll, or whatever different creature you will play with. So if you set your game in the land of firstborns, let's say it might be an evil demon from the Devouts. But for example, if you play with the dwarves, it might be a totem that turn around from the other dwarves and basically need to be put down. I will show you as well how the book, demo rule book, of course, it's just demo, so it's you see it's not very big, how it looks like. And that demo rulebook will be available to download over our Kickstarter page. So basically you can read it through when the Kickstarter starts.
Yeah, that was one of the questions that somebody actually posted in the chat. The question was, will there be like an alpha version of the rules, or like an easy mode? And that sounds a bit like it, like an introduction.
Exactly, yes. Yes, okay. So that's the demo rules. Of course, there are not every rules in it, but it's exactly how to play with a hero skirmish mode. We cut a lot of rules from it, but yes, something changing. Okay, and let's go to the nice parts. Where are some illustrations? So every unit will have, a page with illustration, with a fluff text, with the rules for the game and how to create a warband or the unit. Of course, here we showing only the models that are in our demo box, but in the main rule book there will be, every army will have their own thing. Of course, straight away there are a few scenarios to play. Gather the treasures. There is a new map prepared, showing all the known world at the minute, and of course the world will be expanding. How to build our models, and of course there's a QR code to download this rule book as a PDF. What I can say in the starter set, the starter set will have a few models. Basically it will be like our demo pack, but with the difference that you, when you're buying a starter set, you will have a small rule book and a QR code to download the full rule book. So the full rule book will be in PDF.
Martin, do you think you could show us how my Crystal Lotus elves would deal against those demonic and evil followers? Because I feel like hunting some evil goons.
You know, this I will basically, yeah, I could show that, but I don't have a dice with me. So,
Oh,
yeah, you know, I
How?
didn't prepare to show the game. If you're really interested about how the game works, it's on our previous HeinzCon video, so you can take a look. And for that demo pack game, we will make separate battle report on this beautiful board, and exactly the battle against crystal elves that trying to stop the spell of summoning demon. Show the demon as well. That demon is painted by Master Martin Grandabba. I don't know.
Grandbarb, yeah.
Yes. I've got always problem with different surnames. Sorry, but I think it's so. Yeah,
I understand, and I have a very poor surname for pronunciation, so trust me, I fully understand that.
So yes, that game. That's why I do not want to show now. That game will be presented over the Kickstarter, so you have to wait 3 more weeks, and then it will be a short battle report. Not longer than 20 minutes. Yes, we will present how the game works.
What I wanted to add on top of Martin, and I actually would like to comment on his beautiful work on the rules, is that every single game that you play, especially in the heroic and the patrol scale, has its distinct character. I mean, every single time that I have played the game, and trust me, I'm a Chronopia insider, I have been playing this game since I was 13 or something, I get the feeling that I am sweaty from the battle and my sword needs to clean its blood from it. It gives you the distinct idea that you just had a fight. Those rules are made beautifully. And especially this level, 2 days ago, my elves were, that's why because we were talking with Martin about that, were on the hunt for those goons, trying to stop a spell that would bring forth a demon. And at the very last moment, my last elf struck the evil sorcerer and the spell stopped. At the end of that game, I literally was like,
Yes.
I felt that I had given a fight, and I just called Martin, dude, you are just great. You have just made my week. You made me experience a magical fight, and I love you for that. Sorry, Martin, I didn't
no problem.
want to...
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Don't make you sigh. I didn't want to make you sigh, but your work was, wow.
What else I can say about the experience that every game is different? Because when you come to the PvP game, yeah, you're playing against another player, not the scenario or a certain thing. You randomize a main mission. So it's not only to wipe out the enemy models, but there is a certain mission that army comes to do. So that's the one thing. After you've got the mission, there's you drawing or randomized by your roll die a deployment zone. So it means that every game, even if it's the same mission, might have a different deployment, and that makes the game basically different. You know, even if it's the same mission, it might go totally different way, and the army you have prepared, might do good or might not. It depends how you're gonna put on the battlefield. And above that, every player draws a secret mission, so the other opponent do not know what your army has got to do above the main mission. So that gives a lot of victory points at the end. So first of all, the missions are different, and you have to do something else, so your opponent don't know what you are doing, and you have to just stop you of achieving that.
So you have like a secret objective that no one
Yes,
else knows
exactly.
about. That's good. That's like a bit of a twist, because then they see there's an obvious thing that you're doing, and then they're like, one moment, what is happening here? Why is this happening? Or they might have no idea at all.
Yes, there will be some ways later on to discover that thing, but at the minute, the players doesn't know what they have to do in a secret mission, so
Very
that's
good.
why it's secret.
We had another question come in, and it was whether there would be battle maps for the game, or scenarios to build the maps, or sort of recreate the maps.
Battle maps, so don't know exactly what it means. Like rubber mats for a special area.
Or I think like something you can print out, so you have like terrain or instructions for terrain building if you sort of want to make
I
your
think,
own
yeah,
map.
it means to make the terrain of the game. At least that's what I think.
So yes, we are preparing. Like I said before, there will be STL files that you can print for let's say army aesthetics. So there will be for every army some things to print. But yes, about the battle maps. Yes, every scenario's got their own battle maps. Which ask you to put certain objects on the board. So, for example, if you play in the city, it will tells you, put buildings.
Yes, of
because
course.
it has to be city, and there will be certain rules how to put the buildings. So it has to be gap between the buildings, and so on and so on. Yes, it will be for every level of the game. That rules will happen about the maps that looks like, for example, a lava here. Not on our Kickstarter, but hopefully after we establish the game in the shops and everything. Yes, that's the possibility to make a mat like 3 feet by 3 feet and 4 by 6 for the certain amount for the certain area of the map. So let's say deserts, Stygia, like a greenish.
Just name. Let me add something to what you say. Every different expansion that we're planning at the moment, we have already planned the next 4 expansions, along with the terrain, the units that they will come out. I have outlined the history, and for the first expansion, I have more or less written the history of what will happen, the lore. Every different expansion will focus in specific aspects of the game and in specific areas of the game. So yeah, in the expansion that will be taking place in the land of Locos, there will be rules for lava. In expansions that will be taking place in some shadowy dwarf realm, I will not let you know which clan, it will be how to fight a game in caverns. Along with the dangers of the cavern, Martin is working on all those rule-wise. I'm working with all those things story-wise. But in each different expansion, we want to delve a bit more in a specific aspect of the game. At the time being, at the level of the Kickstarter, we want to keep things plain and simple, not simplistic, just simple and straightforward for everyone to get himself acquainted with the game, and to see which aspect of the game you would like to delve more into.
Okay, yeah, that's a very good thing, though, to like involve players to see if there's such a rich world that you can sort of explore and ask them, where would you like to go next?
Exactly.
Very good. All right, we have almost reached the end of our time slot, I'm afraid, but that sounds all very lovely, very exciting. And yeah, not long now until the 29th and the Kickstarter can go live, and we hopefully get to see a lot more about this exciting project.
Oh, yeah,
also,
absolutely.
just to add, everyone that's currently seeing us can come and join us in our Facebook group. We're pretty active over there. And of course, we are waiting for you to sign up in the Kickstarter page to get the notifications.
I've just posted the link again in the chat. So yeah, if you click on that, you get a notification once the Kickstarter goes live and can be one of the first to explore and check it out.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you
very much for having us.
No worries at all. It was lovely to meet you guys. Martin, Elias, thank you so much for giving us that update. And yeah, all the best with the Kickstarter. I hope it goes really well. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye-bye. I'll be back in a few minutes in German, and we will be playing Dungeons and Dragons on this channel. But yeah, need to dress, need to go. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. And yeah, thank you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.